Hello and welcome to the Rolled Standard. My name is Walt and I'm not shit today because I'm not GMing. We're just going to sit around and talk a little bit about the interlude, Magnum PU. So yeah, let's do that. And if you can't remember how to introduce the cast, remember, the left is law.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, shit.
Hello, I'm Levi. That's it. We're talking today.
You didn't play a character?
Yeah.
Oh, I played less.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm Jacob, and I played a cat, and I'm also talking today. I'll keep the barrel fire rolling.
Barrel fire. I'm Nate, and I played Paul. If you're curious as to why we have fewer voices here today,
He's on paternity leave.
yes, but the show must go on. And we're going to sit around and talk about this stuff, unfortunately, without Oh Boy.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons we're doing this is we need a little bit of padding with Chris gone, and we didn't have anything lined up. So this is, next best thing, especially since what we did was kind of unusual, I guess. Like a flashback interlude in the middle of a campaign.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're
It
doing
was
like
natural.
it was like an arc review instead of a game review.
It's like, what was
Yeah.
less before he was less?
We still don't know.
He was less.
He was less. He's never.
You know,
not
less
been
is more.
Oh
And
god.
like that's like
Got him.
where all of this started was, and I forget what episode it was, but it was when we were trying to figure out what mission to do next. And Les wanted to go find the drone for the nice lady.
That's true.
And someone was like, okay, fine, you go do that. We're going to go.
Oh yeah.
And like,
The idea was that it would be current, and if he went and did that, it would be a little mission to go on like a little garbage A-team adventure.
he just really likes little short side missions, okay?
I think it was like someone said like it'll be like just 5 minutes of less digging around in a dumpster. And then someone else said that, or it's going to be like the most action-packed 3 hours anyone has ever seen.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
All for minimal cred.
It started with the first one, but we went with the second.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to think that he went into an alleyway and got hit with a baseball bat, and he had a dream while he was concussed on the floor.
I see him as like Bastion from Overwatch, where he used to be something completely different, and then he just shut down somewhere, and he just got rusty and covered in moss and gross shit.
Oh, got rusty and covered in dildos.
And then and something came along and like turned him back on somehow, and he just like everything in him is fried. The systems that used to work and he was compatible with fucking 102 years ago are all fucking obsolete and dead. He's just like throwing together personality module shit from multiple different things that he can find.
You're the dirtier version of Bicentennial Man.
You know, I was thinking I was like more of like a grungy, like if Nirvana was a robot.
Alive?
Yeah, that too.
We no longer have
I'd
the
be
technology,
less
but
bent.
we can rebuild him.
Yes.
Fucking $1 million.
But we don't
man.
want to.
He's a 90s band, okay?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, he is. He is grungy as fuck.
Yeah, you're right. He is Nirvana for sure.
And that's something I tried to kind of leave open, like, because I didn't want to like make character decisions for Levi. Like, is Les someone actually important? Like, does he have some other life that he doesn't remember, or was this just a case of like three
so
comedies
Levi
of
could
error
have
in one?
easily been like, yes, I am a secret agent, and then wrote that throughout the entire little mini-series.
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that would have been cooler. Why didn't I think of that?
Because you're digging in dumpsters.
Oh,
You're
God.
concerned with fucking holding on to people's body parts in a garbage
What
can.
I want to know is why were we all mistaken as these agents?
I fucking love that.
How many old ass fucking rancid cats are walking around? Like, what the fuck?
Oh
I mean,
man.
that's something that just had to stay ambiguous because, like, you start picking at the details and things start falling
Oh, I
apart.
wanted to pick. I was so confused. I'm like,
I mean, you still can, but it's all going to just be speculation.
yeah, but that's my life.
Oh man.
Just speculation.
the idea that such specific fucking weirdos.
Right? They're all so strange, and they're like, oh, these are definitely those secret agents that are like triple deep with everyone.
A ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
And
Les is the leader of them. What?
Oh, man.
How do you mistake Les for anyone else? See what I'm saying? That's why I think he's got a memory chip missing.
Oh, yeah, he's like the robot from Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that actually...
I've lost my mind. Right? That's what he says?
Yeah.
I think so.
You never had one, so... Or we have no fucking clue if that's the case. Holy hell, just being drug around and then the next place that we fucking end up after shit goes south becomes like, oh, how did it go infiltrating this place that you needed to infiltrate that fucking... Like, wait a fucking minute, what are you talking about? And then another motherfucker shows up and is like, okay, triple inception infiltration... What the fuck? Oh my fucking God.
Okay, so that's something that I really want to hear about from all of you. Honestly, you don't have to, worry about hurting my feelings, but like, what did that plot progression feel like? Like
Insanity.
Exactly what Nate just said. Okay.
Yeah, but in the way that
I understood that we were mistaken as these agents, and I'm just an old cat. Like I've already burnt through some of my lives, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
And
More
like,
than apparently.
So
Clearly.
at the end of it, Olive just wanted to escape.
No, you fucking did.
She wanted to be free of the mortal
Did Olive
coil.
want to escape, or did Jake want to escape the plot?
No, the cat, like, she did not belong there. She offered to help find like a kitten in a tree.
Yes.
Like an actual feline animal cat.
For Taco Bell money.
And instead, I lost almost... Did I die? I can't even remember. I think I had one...
You died
life.
a couple times.
I think I had one life left. Like all
One or two, I forget.
in a day, she lost 4 lives.
Yeah.
In the span of 24 hours. Of course she wanted to escape.
Was it 3? It was definitely at least 3 because
think
you
he
got
had-
killed in the chopper. You jumped out of the chopper.
I started with 5, and I remember
with 5,
thinking
okay.
I can
One
jump.
was Nate.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I think
One, you got shot in the head.
I might have 2 lives left. But I remember
You jumped out with 2.
I remember
that.
jumping because I knew that I would at least have 1 life left,
Yes.
and I could just go on and retire.
Yeah.
Back to
Okay.
your dumpster.
Yeah, Jake was having fun. Like I missed out on the end, and I'm kind of sad about that. But I knew that it would be hilarious. Maybe she got lucky and I rolled a natural 20 and she landed on all 4s, you know? But that definitely didn't happen.
So this is the second time in Cyborg that Jake's gone into free fall from a hovercopter.
You're
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
that's true. That is true.
I'm like Tom Cruise on motorcycles.
Well, like
Just not as cool.
Paul originally was like from a lab. He worked in a lab and he did a lot of like experiments and shit on animals and
Oh
whatever
my
else.
God, this is
And
a
he got
Spider-Man origin.
Well, he got attached to these
You got bit by a
rats.
rat.
I got attached to these rats and whatever else, and I wasn't going to keep doing that, so I just decided to fuck off and live with my disgusting homies.
He just didn't
question
have
for-
any cool rat powers.
No, I mean
He could talk to them. That's pretty damn cool.
That's very true.
I mean,
But
is-
like
is
he
that
could have
cool?
easily come from a place like
We
the
were
idea.
talking to a puppet.
The idea, the idea that something could have happened to him in the past, like he was part of something bigger, and he like the idea that I put forward the like mind wipe thing was at first a joke, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if this dude ever did anything fucking sketchy, and then he was just like sent off to think that. This
I like
was
to
the
think
case.
that he did animal testing for a shampoo factory and then had his mind wiped.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's very Jay and Silent Bob, where this is the click commander kind of thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Free all the animals and
Yes.
whatever this was.
Oh my God.
I'm really glad you mentioned that in the first episode, Nate, because like the morning before we started recording this, like oh my God, I have to pull all of this shit together and figure out what's going to happen because I had a vague idea, but I didn't have the specifics. And, that's where it ended was with Les getting his memory of the entire adventure wiped. So I was really, really excited when you said that because, foreshadowing. Now
Right.
we have that in the mix from the very beginning.
Hell yeah. I also like that even though we were all expendable outside of Les, that none of us, our endings are ambiguous. So,
Oh, I could meet him in
Yeah.
the future,
Yeah, they
absolutely.
could totally
which
come
I
back.
like.
I like that too, though originally I intended for everyone to kind of unambiguously die
Right,
horribly in the lab to make it hit a little bit harder, but
No,
just
this was
trying to get through the last episode. That wasn't really something we had time to dwell on.
Yeah.
No, I love how this one ended. I like
too.
the idea that everyone escaped by the skin of their teeth,
Oh man.
Because you expect them to die.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
expect us to die, and Levi joking like, "Oh, I don't die in this one."
Dude, my favorite thing about it is that somehow we all like after we get picked up by the van, it was almost like this unspoken thing where we all kind of decided that we weren't going to be off the walls insane, but we were going to make it more and more clear that we are not the people that they're looking for, and we're definitely not qualified to do anything important. Like the idea of like the hairball and
Shit
the
got
fucking
too wild.
like puking in the van and just like rolling out and fucking being covered in sawdust and vomit, and anytime anything starts getting serious, you start hacking. I'm like, "Ugh, oh god, no!" We're like absolute idiots. We're coming up with like the worst fucking low double-digit IQ excuses for like, oh, why fucking Janus over here definitely knew the fucking answer to the question. You got to fucking read up on your book, just taking advantage of whatever it is that they think that we know. And running with it with an idiot's perspective, just constantly, like standing around in the fucking in the police. What was it? The fucking
UCS headquarters.
Yeah. Standing around there and just debating with each other. Like for everybody to know, that got cut down fucking massively, but it was hilarious to see how much time we spent just like arguing in a hallway.
Put that up on Patreon, please.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
That
already
entire
purged it from my computer.
Oh man,
It's been purged.
it's just so fucking funny. It's like emphasizing how massively underqualified we are to do anything important. Over and over again, like, oh, what the fuck were we here for again? Like, just talking to the front guard dude about just like, oh, hey, we're here to clean, and
Yeah.
like everything we say and do is like right next to him. It sounds sketchy. Like I love that you just played along with us, where it's just like, all right, because he doesn't give a fuck.
And now the real question is, do I remember any of that?
That's up to
Obviously
you,
not.
man.
I don't remember any of that.
Because you would have recognized Blackwater when you saw her in Trigger Warning.
That's true.
You would know. Les would have known immediately when they went to Linda's van to get the package.
Oh,
He would have
shit.
known what it was.
Shit. That's
So I
right.
knew it had to end with a memory wipe for Les, because he would have known things beforehand in the Trigger Warning arc.
I like the idea of having this vague memory that I need to go back there and give that guy donuts for some reason. It's like, oh, I owe that guy some donuts. I remember.
Oh, these in the trash.
The only
Still
thing.
pretty good. Oh.
Like I have a side job. I have this whole life where I'm just a janitor at this place, and I don't know how I started working there.
Oh my fucking god. I like the idea that somehow you get those memories back, and then it doesn't matter at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like Les is exactly who he is, and the memories don't matter. He's just like, oh, wow, that was convenient. Fuck those guys, I guess. Like, he knows that it was Linda now, and it doesn't matter to him at all. It almost never did, because it wasn't his mission in the first
Yeah.
place. He's just like, oh, I wonder where Paul and Oh Boy are.
I was just
Guess
looking
I
for
don't
that
care.
furry cat the whole time.
Yeah.
I had no idea what we were looking for.
Oh,
Just
man.
a cat.
It's so funny that even with his memories coming back now, it wouldn't matter. It matters because it matters that he got his mind wiped, just so that, like, retroactively it makes sense that he doesn't know anything.
True.
But, like, going forward, if he got all of those memories back, it would change nothing.
Very true.
Because it's fucking less.
I shouldn't have been a cat.
Oh, yes, you should have. That was hilarious.
I wish I would have had the rats talking sooner. A lot of that stuff was very fucking hilarious to me, and only after it started that I was like, fuck, man, this should have been way earlier.
You know, now that I think about it, I think most of that time, I thought you only had 2 rats until that very last episode. I'm
Because
like,
he's always hiding in a bunhole.
there's a third rat?
Yeah.
And it's Mel?
Yeah, no, I said it, that there's one
Yeah.
that had crazy eyes. There's one that's got another rat's face on its face.
Maybe that's just
And then there's one that's
Levi.
like naked and pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could only think of me and Jake's characters.
Oh, man. Well, I couldn't play. playing
Yeah.
across myself was very odd, so I wanted to keep Mel's involvement in it very low, and I didn't want to just be stroking myself with conversations with Mel. You know, it just sounded bad to me.
Wouldn't be the first time.
So when Jake like really dug into being Arthur there, I thought that it was going to be fucking hysterical. So I just regret that I didn't do it sooner.
Yeah.
And like the bits that I got to play with them, like the like Dennis, I want to let you know that you're my favorite.
Oh, what the fuck?
And we peaked with you guys.
So funny.
It's so ridiculous.
And it was so great. That was such a great addition, making them Mel, Arthur, and Dennis.
It's,
Well, I mean,
it's an Easter egg.
there were so many callbacks to like other stuff. Like there was the D pick. That you showed up
Oh my
at.
So
god, that killed me.
And like there was a bunch of other stuff. I forget what all it was now, but like so many references to other things from like Trigger Warning and other arcs you guys have done that I tried
Absolutely.
to work in.
That's so
I thought
fucking
it was
cool.
really funny that Mel, Arthur, and Dennis showed up.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Rats.
it was really only because I rolled for like the style of abilities that it was, and it was like small, medium, large, essentially. Like you get one big weird animal, you get 3 smaller animals, and it said like medium dog-sized rats or
Yes.
something like that, and then a bunch of small creatures. And I rolled for the 3 things, and I was like, well, it's definitely got to be rats because he's a nasty dirt boy. But 3 of them, who's better to pick than like when I need to name them? I'm like, Mel, Dennis, and Arthur, because fuck it, why not? I could have gone with any of them, but honestly, being in Trigger Warning, like being in a Borg-like game, they're the 3 most iconic. I could have been like James, John, Huey, and that would have been less interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I could have picked any 3, Umbrus, Faroon, and Kalain if I wanted to.
Oh,
That would have been bizarre, and it probably would have worked out fine, but obviously the connection is way better. Especially
Yeah.
with like Pelgrane involved in the Trigger Warning stuff and all of like the callback stuff between that. What is the dude, the tatted out guy from the end of Cold and Deathless? He's the guy who
that
came and got
was,
the package.
Deacon Brond.
Deacon Brond. You know, like having all of the different references, why not have those 3 be who they are? The story as a whole, I was just like, oh my god, as soon as we hit another point where somebody has different names for us, I was like, all right, we're fucked. we're absolutely fucked here, boys. I have no fucking, I can't lie to everybody in the same way now at this point.
Now, what was there anything we were missing from said story that you just had to cut out for time? Like, what's the juicy bit that you had hidden?
So in the UCS headquarters, you're originally supposed to be taken to the commandant's conference room to be interviewed by them until you started shooting. And I realized that just simply wasn't going to happen. So that's why I kind of herded y'all into the elevator where they could stop it and do the hologram thing and try to work that conversation in as best I could to make the whole thing feel a little more coherent.
Yeah.
Nothing really got cut. It just got abbreviated. The last few things that happened, like at the D pick, that was going to be longer. There was going to be more obstacles there getting out. What else? Oh, the final scene in Allianz and Special Services was supposed to go a little bit longer. But like, just, I tried to condense it just so we could get through it and get everything wrapped up and put a cap on
we
the
talked
mini
too
arc.
much.
Yeah.
But that was what made that so hilarious, was the character interactions and all of you just bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, there's never really a point during that entire thing where any of us are like, please don't fucking kill us. It was all, I have described us as this all the time, but it was like essentially we were just Muppets and everybody else was kind of in the real world. There were some other Muppets, but everybody looks at us like the first dude, Janice, that dude was a perfect example to me of like almost a Muppets Christmas Carol style where fucking like Scrooge fucking he's just standing around and there's no recognition of the idea that everybody around him is a fucking puppet, but they're all acting like fucking puppets and he's just the guy that's there. And almost every Muppet thing is this, but I still think of it as like a perfect example of how we play some of these games. It's just like we're absolutely fucking insane, and he was a perfect example of somebody who completely like he didn't address how cartoony we were. It was just like, oh, you guys are great. Give me the information you got. And every cartoon decision, like Les dumping out a bag of garbage on a table, he's just like, okay, we'll have all of this analyzed. What fucking why? Because it's fucking hilarious, and that's exactly how it works.
Don't forget the needles.
Oh my God. And then Oh Boy as a character, just to address it, like since he's not here, Oh Boy, I think about him often as like, holy shit, that name and that character and like the way he plays is like exactly what I would hope to see out of like a small toy, a ventriloquist dummy or whatever. It is exactly the fucking dark Pinocchio energy, and like the name Oh Boy fits so well for like a toy that people sell. It's like, oh, come get your Oh Boy or whatever, and his signature fucking line is his name, and it works so fucking well as that Mickey Mouse surrogate. It's just as a character concept, it's like, oh fuck, man, this is actually. And then like the first time he's just like, I just fucking fall down limp on the ground. I was like, oh my God, he just he Toy Story'd the fuck out of this.
He Toy Story'd it, dude.
Oh, it makes so much sense too. Especially if the Oh Boy figure itself is specifically just a toy, and for some reason he just has sentience.
I was intrigued by the wig thing.
The wig thing fucked me up. I was like, why is this? Like, I love how it was just something written down on his paper, but he never talked about it until the point where he's just like, things are getting serious. I need to find me a wig. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh man. All of the tangents that we went on that were mundane and ridiculous in that second episode, especially because it was essentially just like madness, like mundane shit, and Levi hanging out in the garbage in a dumpster, and then it just fucking bullets popping off in different directions, and we're just like, the fuck do we do now? Like, where do we go? Oh man, I love how like the entire world around us was absolutely serious, and things were going off in like very serious ways. People are dying and there's fucking gunfights and shit, and we're just standing around like there's a scene in something that hasn't come out yet from a long time ago where Jake's playing a character where we're having a conversation and he gets shot in the chest, like in the pec. And he's in the middle of talking, and because we've established that this guy is just too hardcore, he's in the middle of talking about something like, holy shit, man, that would like, you just got shot in the chest and you didn't even fucking flinch. What is that? It's like, oh yeah, really? Oh damn, that's right. And he just digs the bullet out of his chest, and he hands it to me like, here, you want that? I can make it into a necklace for you. It's a souvenir.
What is that?
It's fucking.
It's the origin of the bro hubs.
We called him Beefcake.
Yeah, he had like all these dudes that he rolled around with. He was a security officer. And like he bullied the warden.
Yeah, it was for
Officer
Zombie
Juan.
World. Zombie World 2.
See, I wasn't here for either of those.
No, you were off doing something else, and it was an extra thing. We'll edit it and throw it on the Patreon eventually.
No, I'm running it.
It was so fucking funny. But that was a perfect example of one of those things that was just like everything. He yes-anded everything, and if he didn't, it was no but, and it was better. I was just like, he was talking.
Oh, the golf cart scene.
Oh, the golf cart was a perfect example.
Oh, fuck. There's too many spoilers.
No, like there was another moment. It means almost nothing, but obviously he said that he has a bunch of bros and whatever else. But I was just like, Beefcake's talking about his bros and like how he has to wait for them so we can all go and do this thing. And I'm like, oh, you're talking about hippopotamus and velociraptor? And he's like, no, it's rhinoceros and T-Rex or some bullshit. I have no idea, but it was such an instant reply with two different similar names that I was just like fucking blown away. I laughed so hard.
I was given too much power that day. I spent too much time in the sun.
Dude, he's just like, he just handing grenades to people and shit and like holding. Oh man, it was fucking hysterical. Especially because if you've listened to Zombie World 1, it's on the Patreon now. It's super fucking tame. It's like really kind of just a slow go story with Jake and I. Like Jake is probably the most outrageous character in it, which is not a surprise to anyone, I'm sure. Wow. But I was just a very tedious person while I was playing it. We were really
and then you had
chill.
your Vegeta / Piccolo / any bad guy in Dragon Ball Z that fucks around with Goku arc.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, oh fuck, damn, here we're this is the coolest shit. I like afterwards I went from being a bastard and a piece of shit at the end of the first one, to just being like, all I want to do is be a bro with these bros now, even though I'm 62. Like that's fuck, man. Anyway,
weird.
that's like kind of the.
One more thing I want to talk about, though, about what we were doing.
Yeah,
with
I didn't want to
Lesson
just
again.
take away the whole thing.
The fucking Livewire scripts were so good.
Oh, that last
They
one.
were so good. If you ever have us like just read scripts and do voices, I'm in.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
in. I'll fucking do it. We could do just like a scripted show, like it's the fucking 1920s.
Dude, for real though, that last
Live audio drama.
That
Yeah.
last one fucked me
Oh
up.
man, it was so good. Like
Especially because you forget halfway through that what's happening is supposed to
well,
be
we
like.
improv literally everything, right? And then Walt comes on and is like, here's a script. Do it just read it naturally. It became a real fucking conversation that he was having. Like, I started inserting my own shit
Right.
during it.
That was
Oh, God.
hilarious.
At the same
That
time,
was so fucking funny.
at the same time, like it's probably going to be like cut down to make sense or whatever. But there was a point where there was a misinterpretation of how the things were supposed like going while Walter Cronkite is talking. Chris's
I want to be a
character,
newscaster.
Chris's character is supposed to step on his shit, like step on his words and just continue going or whatever. And it didn't happen right away. The translation was a little bit lost. But as soon as we addressed it and it happened, the next few lines, it hit so hard when he did. And Jake reacted so fucking quickly and so perfectly. It, like, you listen to it, you know. It's like, because he says his name wrong all the time. And it's like, it's Walter, by the way. And then just keeps going like, it's fucking.
just keeps
my name,
escalating,
my
yeah.
name's fucking Walter. Like, he just keeps going. Holy
builds.
fuck, dude. That interaction with weird Chris's Timu version of King Kai or whatever the fuck it was.
Timu,
Like that voice was like so perfectly King Kai-esque. It was what you would expect
was
from
so
Team
fun.
4-Star or something.
And
I want to go on a Walter Cronkite adventure.
We've already talked about that multiple times. Like after, like, oh, not only that, but the way I cut it too. It's another one of the you losing your fucking mind and the audio recording cutting out, where you're just like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
no, it wasn't.
The Synthpresso.
It's not that one. It's the one before. It's the episode before. Yeah, it was the Synthpresso machine one where you're losing your mind and it just cuts out over the synth. And I love that when it goes to those moments where it's just like, our own Walter Cronkite had this to say. Why the fuck are they airing this? Why would it, like, it was obviously had nothing to do with fuck all anything. Why are they airing it? It made me laugh so hard. Holy fuck. Oh my God. I also like playing the fucking stony barista. That made me laugh so fucking hard.
Dude,
Smoking some seriously heavy moon cabbage. And then then I woke up and I just had bullet holes in, like, I had bullet holes in my head and a fucking negative balance in my bank account. Fucking bummer, man. I was like, oh, this is so perfect for me to play. I love this. Yeah, those scripts are fucking hilarious. I got lost in the fucking Cronkite conversation. Like, it's minutes long of these guys going off on each other. And then I realized, I'm like, what about this has to do with anything? I lost it. I'm here for the interaction now. I have no fucking clue what is happening. I'm just like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, we're recording a fucking shit. Like, this is the recap, the live wire recap.
I know that was.
I love the fucking A, B, C stories that are going on. Like, I created the C story, and I laugh about it because it might not ever come back, and it's fine. But the A story is obviously all of us doing our thing as the normal characters. The B story is everything that's happening on Livewire with all of the characters that are involved in that. And then the C story is the out of time, out of mind thing that I put together, where like there's shit happening in this building, things are popping off, everything is bad for them, but nobody knows them and nobody has any reason to care.
Now that I think about it, because a little peek behind the screen, this is recorded the week after
we recorded.
We wrapped up the last one. What if we do like a prequel to the C story? As that one,
as like
one.
workers in the building,
just for a little spice,
Yeah.
people,
and it could be like a horror version of it.
I don't know if I could play that character because I'd probably be expected to.
No, but
because I
just
edit
for
him
that-
very heavily
just
to
for
be
that
Sam Elliott.
natural one that we rolled on that last.
Oh, he's
that
just a
last
dude
thing.
that reads.
You
You
heard-
know,
you heard
just
that
just an
insanity, right?
alert, just an alert. a prequel alert for this last episode.
Oh,
So when people hear this is that idea coming.
well,
to mind.
the unfortunate part of the last one was it was happening actively during like midway through the like trigger warning itself.
Yes.
So since this is a prequel, like if I could
Yeah.
record an Out of Time, Out of Mind that made like sense to be like a happy-go-lucky type of like whatever, but Out of Time, Out of Mind makes me just laugh to myself. I do it for myself. It's just stroking a little bit of my own.
If it doesn't make any sense, no one's ever going to hear this.
I mean,
You know, it adds to it because that's where is from.
shh, you can't do that.
Oh, sorry.
People don't know that yet. That's
I
when
feel like it's pretty obvious at this point.
that. Oh my god, I'm gonna bleep. This is the part that I'm gonna bleep, and it's just gonna be a long like that's me, and then nobody doesn't know this yet. Oh man, but yes, like that was the inspiration for Out of Time, Out of Mind was talking about that, and then being the very mundane origin of problems like that they got to sweep under the rug. But this time around, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's like somebody went into like I want to have a horror sesh,
Yeah.
and then that got out.
Yeah, like the last one made me laugh because I'm like, where could this go from here? Like, why? Like, it's been bad. It has to get worse. So he's recording this fucking session while he's like trapped under his desk in his office, and then like somebody kicks the door in and starts they're firing guns at each other, and that's when it cuts out or whatever. It just, oh fuck. I've never been more proud of myself for something so dumb. The first time around it happened because Levi just accidentally put two of the same ad into an episode that we rolled natural ones on, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta figure out something to do. And my voice was all fucked from something that happened, and I just went up in my bathroom and I recorded it on my phone. And I was like, I gotta edit this down so that it doesn't sound as shitty because it's just my phone thing. So I was like, okay, I'll do the old timey music. I'll put the filters on it so that it sounds like it's on a record, And then I just like pitched myself down a bit because I was already doing pretty good Sam Elliott shit at at that moment. And I was like, this is exactly it. This is what I'm going to do every time we don't have an ad or something fucks up and we just need one. I'll continue this stupid little story. But I just sat there while I was sitting at my computer and I just typed it out. It was just almost stream of consciousness. And all I wanted, like the joke to me was an old Western dude that spoke like with way too much inside of like the descriptions that he's giving, where it's just like a meticulously curated set of, like going off about whatever that makes no sense for an old cowpoke to be talking about or whatever. That was the joke, and they fucking jumped from that. But it is no fucking comparison to how absolutely batshit Livewire got so quickly. I fucking all of them though. I love all of the Livewire bits. They're any of the ones where it's like, oh, they're out on the street. I'm like, oh god, I gotta give such good street shit for this or whatever. Walter Cronkite losing his fucking mind about the tsunami and then getting cut off the air made me laugh super fucking hard. Like all of them are great. So then when it gets to the point where it's like, oh, Walter Cronkite can come back because this is a prequel thing. Oh fuck!
I want a mashup of just the live wires so I can easily listen to them.
Oh, you could watch. You could listen to the whole story happening in like real time.
Yeah, in one sitting,
just from their perspective. I'd be very curious to see what that sounds like. Actually.
And that was the hard thing about doing live wires for this is because no one cares about these characters or who they are. So how do I like try to recap what happened last episode without
wrong,
referencing?
Sir. We care about these characters.
Oh, what
Are you
you
a magical voice in my head?
No, that's one of those things too. Like even just the idea that you put in the like blah 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 city of Psy at the end, like it was so it's always so much nicer. And Chris was doing that too, where it was like progressively getting shittier. So you have to do the opposite job of like making it sound nicer. Holy fuck, man.
So one question for you guys. Did you realize you were being railroaded throughout the entire Magnum PU adventure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and that was actually kind of the point that
It was.
when you were when you were asking about the
The frustration was real, Walt.
when you were asking about how it felt to like meet all these people and be just like blindsided by all this different stuff. I was like, I'm totally okay with following along with this because that's kind of the point. Like, as a small adventure, it makes so much more sense. Like, if it was something big and sprawling or whatever else, the end goal after like 4 or 5 episodes would be, fuck this, we're our own people, we don't know what you're talking about, we're gonna fucking turn on everybody type, if it was a long story, you know? But it's not. And the idea that we were just like, the perfect motivation for, what was it? I think Chris was talking about early on, where he's just like, when I mentioned retirement, he's like, oh yeah, about the severance package and the money and whatever else. Like, there gets to this point where it's like, oh yeah, man, if we can pretend to be these people long enough and we can convince them of something, we'll get some heavy benefits out of it, especially as people who fucking live in dumpsters and shit.
Yeah.
Like, the motivation to allow these people to just tell us where to go and what to do and then hook us up and do whatever. The motivation was there just based on who the people were and where they came from originally.
So like that was a big thing. Like a big part of this, like I started working on the adventure, like right as we were getting close to the intermission on Trigger Warning. And a big motivation was like, how do I like fill in some of the gaps that Chris isn't going to be able to with like backstory? So I was like, hence a lot of like these characters showing up and
Right.
Mentioning. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for the newcomers.
I totally
to this
get you.
episode
Listen,
anyway.
you can
Muskrat.
it out.
But like getting Tethic in there, getting the D-pick in there, and like all of that stuff, and setting up what's going on with that. Also, did you catch the head of the D-pick's name? Do you remember who that was?
Yeah.
Timothy Allen.
I was just gonna say Timothy Allen Smith. Yes.
Yeah. So Tom Smith's great grandson, named after Tim Masters from the Boston.
Or Tim Allen, the actor.
Yeah.
You know.
The coach.
I just finished listening to Boston again today, and what a fucking ride!
Oh man,
Yeah,
it is a fucking ride.
I just listened to Lycoma, Guthwig, and Ultima Immortalis over the past few days while I was painting.
I recently listened to Lycoma and Kids on Bikes, and as weird as we felt about Kids on Bikes when it was all said and done, going through it a little bit, I was like, fuck, man, this was fun. Like, that first episode especially was so tight, and like playing those kids and like instantly having the weird rapport that they did with each other and like all the shit, it was fun. Not only that, but the only thing I'm more proud of writing than Out of Time, Out of Mind is Ollie's eulogy.
Oh,
because I spent a long
That hit
time.
hard.
I spent a long time doing that, and I feel like I did a very good job of like it completely encompassing how their relationship was, while still honoring who he was and making it clear that I gave a shit.
I think I was great as the Walzax.
You absolutely were. Oh my god.
That eulogy was like the Gettysburg Address of fictional eulogies.
Okay.
Oh my
I don't need.
Well,
you to
we know
stroke
what
me that
Nate's
hard.
masturbating
I don't.
to tonight.
I don't like being forced to come either. Okay.
yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Anyways, don't sniff glue.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Hello, Levi here, back at the end of the episode. I just wanted to take the time and thank all of you for listening to the Rolled Standard and on our off week listening to our sister podcast, Flail to the Face. We truly enjoy doing this for all of you, and if you could leave us a rate and review wherever you listen to your podcast. And while you're there, go ahead and share it with all your Pauls and your brother husbands. All of our links can be found in the description below. Every little thing you do helps us grow, and we greatly appreciate it. Now that the business has been taken care of, I just wanted to give a special shout out to our brother husbands over on Patreon. Freshman, Harbles Barkley, Jack Benalkin, Kevin Olmsted, Kevin Welch, Rasmus Hammerlund, Restoramus, Ridley, and Baz. Not to mention all the Pauls and the standard bearers out there. We greatly appreciate all of you because without you, none of this would be possible. So thank you. And remember, don't sniff glue. Or do.